Liverpool athletes. Here are the student athletes, the coaches. We also have administration. We have had superintendents here. We've had the deputy superintendents. We've, of course, had Ari Lieberman, your athletic director. So we've been able to do a lot of great things sitting here in the booths at Avicolli's at 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, down the road from Liverpool High School. And we're happy to be here as we celebrate Liverpool boys indoor track tonight. And of course, we're going to finish off the night after hearing from the student athletes. We're now going to have the coaches. So we have Coach Nate Howard, who is here with us, the vertical jumpers, and we have Coach Andy Lewis with the distance. And so we appreciate you both being here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I know, Coach, you were here. You saw the girls' indoor track show that we did. So,
did.
What to you? Because Coach Hamilton, when we sat down and talked about a lot of different things, first and foremost, how would you describe if you had to describe Coach Hamilton in 3 words, what 3 words would you use? It's a family show.
Energetic,
Okay.
passionate,
Okay.
and hardworking.
Energetic, passionate, and hardworking. All right, Coach Howard, how would you describe Coach Hamilton? Coach Hamilton didn't know I was doing this, that's why I'm having fun with it. How would you describe it?
I'd say definitely passionate, intense, and very thoughtful.
Okay, intense and thoughtful. I like that. All right.
Intensely thoughtful.
Intensely thoughtful. Coach Howard, how would you describe Coach Lewis?
I haven't known Coach Lewis for very long,
Okay.
but I have an astronomical respect for him because as I'm driving from work, which is across the parking lot at the elementary school, and I'm pulling into the high school parking lot, I see him doing something that I live by. The distance runners are outside in the snow running, and it's 5 p.m., about to be dark, and who else is leading the pack but Coach Lewis? I said, now that's a guy I could stand behind. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm going to get out there and do it with you and show you that it can be done. And I believe that I have the utmost respect for that.
Setting an example.
Absolutely.
Not just saying it, but doing it.
Absolutely.
Coach Lewis, those are big words to respond to, but I want you to describe to me Coach Howard.
All right. As Nate said, we haven't known each other too long, but, right off the bat, I got a very good and positive impression of him and his work ethic and how he works with the kids and just, going over the basics, the fundamentals, and just I love how he treats the weight room. That's like, that's his, I forgot the word you used, but
Sanctuary.
That's sanctuary, there it is.
Yeah.
And, just, someone that I think the kids look up to. I think he made a quick, good impression. He coaches football, but I don't really know him from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great guy and great coach.
Well, positive words here in a world that desperately needs some positivity. Coach Lewis, you are a Bears fan?
I am.
I want you to tell me something good about the Packers this year. Because Coach Howard is a Packers fan.
They made it to the playoffs.
I knew you were going to say that. They made it to the playoffs, okay. If you had to pick a Packer to interview, what Packer would you want to talk to?
Current or
Anybody.
I don't know, I'd probably go with our hometown Dorsey Levens.
Okay, all right, from Nottingham High School.
Yep.
Love it. Sounds good to me. Coach Howard, tell me something good about the Bears this year. This is going to be difficult. I'm sorry, Coach.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Well,
The defense was okay, Tom.
Yeah, they beat the Packers in Week 18. So that's pretty good.
That's your positive. What Bear would you interview?
I'm going to have to go with Walter Payton.
Yeah.
I think he's the GOAT. I would like to get him and Barry Sanders in the same room.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah. Barry Sanders to me, and somebody had asked me this question recently, and I was talking about, I picked Barry Sanders. I think it was like if you could interview anybody right now, like who would you talk to in any sport? And Barry, growing up as a kid and watching him play, he would hit the pile, and you would just see like a bunch of offensive and defensive linemen fighting, and I think it was on the right side of the line when I saw it this one game. Barry goes into what looks like a tunnel. He goes into like this little cave. And then the pile's moving. And I'm like, why are they not blowing it dead? You just see Lions are moving, the team they're playing is moving. And then all of a sudden he shoots out of the back of it, but there was no opening. And it's like, how did this magician get out of here? And then there was other moments where he would be in the backfield and he'd make a move on a guy and he would he would like take his ankle down to the ground and look like he almost broke his own ankle to just shift and then go the other direction. And for me, I could never figure out, I called him Gumby. And I said, I just couldn't figure out how this guy played the way he played, how his body did what it did. He was on one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL. And this guy could be on a 2-win team and still be the MVP. And there's not a lot of guys that can boast of that ever in any sport. And Barry Sanders, to me, is hands down one of the most incredible, prolific, extreme, talented, just humble. He was just such a guy. Like I love. There's so many running backs that I love watching, but I don't know if I can ever sit here and say that guy looks like Barry Sanders. I don't know if I can say that.
I agree. I don't think I've seen it. Nah. So interesting. Real quick. I said this about Patrick Mahomes. I've been watching football for a very, very, very long time, over 45 years. And for someone to do something I've never seen anyone do on the football field is quite the feat. And when I saw Patrick Mahomes throw the behind the back pass, I'm like, I've never seen that before in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Barry Sanders used to do that almost weekly. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Barry's just, he is one of one. And Pat Mahomes, I think in his right, he's also a one of one. Guy can throw on the run. He can lose 20 yards but not lose any yards. I don't know how he does that. Throws left-handed, throws right-handed. He's never out of anything. He's just constantly such a talented guy. But it shows you how talented the NFL. We're not talking about him for the MVP. We're not talking about any Chiefs. We're talking about Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Mike Evans. I mean, there's names that should be up there. I think it's Josh Allen. But if you had to choose the MVP in the regular season, because keep in mind, folks, this is supposed to be regular season MVP. There's supposed to be nothing to do with the postseason. Regular season MVP, based on what they've done, Lamar or Josh, and why?
Well, I'm going to have to go with Josh. And I hope she doesn't see this. My girlfriend is a newly minted Ravens fan. Just decided to pick them up this year.
Okay.
She decided she's dating a football coach. She should have a favorite team. She picked the Ravens. But I'm going to go with Josh Allen because of the point of if you remove the player from the team, how valuable is that person to the team? How good would the team be without that person?
Yeah.
And I think the Ravens have more pieces than the Bills do, and they would fare better without Lamar than the Bills would without Josh.
Same argument I made this morning on the show. Andy, what about you? Lamar or Josh this year?
I would go with Josh too, but with all due respect to Lamar, because I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. If he doesn't get it this year, I think, providing he stays healthy, he's going to get it. I think both quarterbacks are
Looking to get another one. This would be his third, Lamar.
Yeah.
Which is such a rare place for anybody to be in. It's a very short list of anybody who's had 3 or more.
Yeah. So, but for this year, I think Josh, really based, what Nate said, makes a lot of sense. And that's not to take anything away from Lamar, but because, they're both integral pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But there's the statement that Coach Howard made, and same thing I said. And this going off of Brendan Murphy's point on the show this morning on Wake Up Call, we were doing DT and Murphy every Monday, when he said it's most valuable. It's not most outstanding. It's not like most, just like the best talent, whatever. It's about the most valuable. Take the talent, take the value, take that value off the team. What happens? And to that point, without Josh Allen, the Bills are going to be a 5 to 7 win team. They're not gonna win more games than they lose, and they're probably not going to be a playoff team. So Josh he's something, and he definitely does not shy away from putting himself out there. Neither does Lamar, neither does Jaden Daniels, neither does Baker Mayfield, neither does Jalen Hurts. I mean, there's a lot of guys we can name, but Josh Allen, as you said, without him, the Buffalo Bills they're at the bottom probably.
Yeah.
So, getting back to this world of track distance running, why for you, Coach Lewis here? Why distance runners? Why did you want to focus in that area? And what do you get out of coaching your distance runners?
Well, actually, I started off I actually ran for Liverpool back in the day, and I was a sprinter who did cross country. I just kind of stumbled upon it, and I was a track kid, but then when I got my job working at a school, and there was an opening for a cross country position. This was at a different school.
Yeah.
It was for modified cross country, and I thought, well, I'd like to get into coaching, so I did it, and then did that for a couple of years, and then it just grew on me, and I had a newfound appreciation for it. Not that I didn't enjoy it when I did it in high school, but that was just to keep me out of trouble and keep me in shape for track. But I don't know, there's something about it. I still love track and field, but I don't know, I kind of fell in love with cross country and coaching the kids. It's each group, whether it's the throwers or jumpers, pole vaulters, they're all special in their own way. And with the distance kids, it's just any kid that's willing to do that, and they stick with it, and run like we did today out in the cold and running 800 repeats. There's something to be said about that. I talked to the kids before they did today's workout, just basically saying you should be proud of yourselves for being out here doing this. There's not a lot of kids that would be willing to do that, but it's very rewarding as a coach. I mean, there's, just like any other, like anything in life, there's ups and downs, but it's just overall, I love it. It's very rewarding, and hopefully I'm making a positive difference in their lives. So, and they have done that for me.
Well, like Coach Howard said, I mean, you set the example. It's not that they're out running at 5 o'clock at night. You're with them at 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I'm with them. I'm not running with them. But I do, but usually I'm trailing behind these days.
That's a good thing, though.
But I am out there most times. So yeah, it's fun.
Well, credit to you that you still have the love and the passion for it.
I do. Yeah, I love it.
Coach Howard, vertical jumpers. Why that? You and I were talking a little bit off the air about this, but why this? You talked about you love wrestling, you coach football. Why vertical jumpers?
Well, full disclosure. So I view athletics as an opportunity to reach young men and athletes and students, and have an opportunity to hopefully motivate them, guide them, show them in life how to be a quality human being. A quality person first is the most important aspect. If you can be a great human being with a good heart, integrity, all the things you mentioned, that's going to translate to the sport.
Yeah.
You're going to be a good athlete because you're going to have work ethic. You're going to have respect. So when I was asked if I could do these events, I was shocked because I had never coached such a thing. But I personally am a lifelong learner. I always want to be open. I always want to learn new things. I love a new challenge. And for me to take an opportunity to take something I'm not very well versed at and become well versed at it, well enough to help athletes improve and get better and grow, was an opportunity of a lifetime for me. I know wrestling inside and out. I've done it my whole life. I've coached it for years and years and years. But to have this opportunity, not only do I get a chance to grow, but I also get a chance to help these athletes grow and improve. And more than that, you know, I get to have that influence on them as far as, you know, how to be decent, quality human beings.
You talked about learning something that you didn't know and learning it enough, studying the craft that you can help your student athletes learn and grow and evolve. Why do you love that challenge and love to learn something? I mean, there's so many people that get set in their ways. This is what I know. This is all I'm going to know. But you're like, no, I'm going to crack the book open and I'm going to learn something new. Why do you have such a passion for that?
Well, I'd like to give my father some credit for that, but it's a thing that's actually developed over years. So sports saved my life personally, and it was the actual sport of wrestling. I grew up in a very, very rough, downtrodden neighborhood on the east side of Syracuse for most of my childhood, and then on the west side of Syracuse. Graduated from Fowler High School. I was always told as a kid that I would not live to be past 18 years old just because of the environment. That's how it was. And for me to get involved in a sport like wrestling, which there was some violence involved, but it was organized and it was controlled and it was structured in a way that not only am I going to be able to do the same things that I would be doing in the street illegally, getting people hurt or possibly killed, now I have an outlet that I can actually win trophies for getting that aggression out.
Yeah.
And that got me off the street. That got me away from the gangs. That got me away from everything. And I have an internal debt of gratitude to my coaches because I feel like they literally saved my life. And I've always wanted to give back that opportunity, give back that piece. Because if it weren't for sports, who knows where I would have wound up. So, and that just translates into the never be so smart that you feel like you know everything. Because as soon as you feel like you know everything, that proves you're an idiot. You know, so I've always wanted to continue to be open-minded and grow and learn.
Well, I love that. I appreciate you sharing that, and I'm happy that you chose that path. Because I talk to student athletes and professional athletes and people that have said, you know, if I wasn't here, I would be here. And I'm happy that I went this direction and not the other direction. So to not be a statistic, but to be a story and hopefully an inspiration to somebody is a beautiful thing. Well, Coach, we're going to let you ask me the first question here in rapid fire. What do you got for me, Coach Howard?
So you've done so many of these podcasts about covering, this one's track and field, but I feel like we've talked more about football than anything else in this.
Yeah, I've got all over.
So
We talked about vertical jump, talked about distance, talked about the NFL. Yeah.
and is this the way it normally goes, or are we just, because I coach these guys, all three of these guys in football also, and I'm a football guy, and you're a football guy, so is it just because of the company you're keeping, or?
You know, honestly, I let the shows take me where they take me. I mean, as you can see, I don't have anything written down. My notepad from today was actually about Josh Allen against the Chiefs in the regular season and then in the postseason. But, you know, to me, keep a notebook. I in the sense of I listen to what we're talking about. We had such a conversation about the NFL and stuff, and I like to go where people are passionate and to go to the sport and to obviously spotlight track and field because that's what we're here for, but then to also humanize you and let you like show other things that you love and things that you care about and what's going on, and kind of show that we can bring football people into track and field. We can bring track and field people into football. I like making the world small. I like bringing people together, and I just like letting you take me where you take me. My question back to you, Coach Howard. If you could have dinner with any three entertainers of anything, music, movies, sports, whatever, if you could sit down with any three entertainers that have ever existed, who would you sit with and why?
Well, I'm gonna say, well, that's a tough one to respond to on the spot, but I definitely gonna say Denzel Washington. He's an inspiration to me. And we were just watching the movie last night with Morgan Freeman in it, who I also think is a great entertainer. And my third one, I want to go with. I'm gonna say T.D. Jakes because of what I know of him.
Okay.
Although I've never really followed him too closely,
Okay.
but I know who he is and what he's about, and since we're kind of on the same wavelength as far as that goes, I would like to pick his brain and find out a little bit more about his journey.
What is it about him that sticks out to you?
Well, he's a spiritual guy in nature. He's spiritual in nature. He's very into his faith. So, and being a guy who's grown in that department over the years,
Yeah.
I find if I could talk to more and more people with more and more experience, that's just only going to help my experience flourish.
I like that. I can appreciate that. Like you said, the moment that you think you know everything, you're stupid. So, got to keep learning from people. All right, Coach Lewis, what do you got for me?
All right. What's the question?
Any question that you want to ask me?
Oh, okay. You've been doing this a long time. Do you have one moment or one experience that is, your best, favorite, most rewarding experience?
Honestly, I think it was my 21-year anniversary. We had a party, and I asked some people to speak. So I asked Isaac Elford, who is a brother to me. God has given me, I didn't need biological, God gave me so many brothers in my life, people that honestly, there is no, to me, the same blood runs through us. And Isaac is one of those people. I asked him to speak. We work together. We do Tortora and Alford with Syracuse football, Syracuse basketball, and we just spent a lot of time together. He actually just texted me while we were here, and he's a Commanders fan, so I'm happy that they won. And for him, and for Jerry Hart, shout out to Jerry, and for Joe Theismann, shout out to you, John. So, yeah, having Isaac speak, Amani Free, she worked for me, and I had her speak. I had Rob Drummond, who played at JD, played for Syracuse, played for the Eagles, won a bunch of championships in the CFL. He spoke, and he's another brother to me. To me, we are cut from the same cloth in so many ways. I love him dearly, and I love Amani, and then my parents spoke. So, honestly, I think being in that room after I heard people speak and everyone that showed up and what they did to be there that day, to have that experience and to have us all kind of come together. When I stood up there, it hit me that I thought I've spent most of my journey in my life chasing these dreams with so many people wanting me to quit, telling me I can't do it, telling me I won't be successful, I can't go out on my own, who are you, you're Dan Tortora, that's a nobody, that's not a name, who cares about you, who cares about your business? And the media to this day has really treated me like an outcast. And so I felt like this journey's been me and God, and that's it. And when I stood up there and I spoke after they spoke, and I looked at this room full of people, and then all the people that couldn't be there and the messages that I received, I just said it out loud. When I realized it, I said, I thought I was on this journey by myself, and God sent me angels this entire time, and I've had people protecting me, and I got such an army that you would never even get to me because you never get through these people. And so I think that's my favorite moment up to now, is knowing that I thought I did it alone and I never was. And so I can't thank God enough for that. I was willing to do it alone, and it was almost like he wanted to know that I would do it no matter what. If it was me versus the world, would you do it? And then when I did that, he was like, well, just so you know, it wasn't everybody that was against you. Like, you have so many people that love you and support you, and I'm humbled by it every day, and I have a purpose in this life, and I feel like I barely scratched the surface of that purpose. So I'm going to keep going for the grace of God, and hope that I can make him happy, and hope that I can leave an imprint on this world that will have a ripple effect, where somebody somewhere will do the right thing at some point in their life when they're tasked with a fork in the road.
God is good.
Absolutely. My question back to you is, if you and Coach Howard and I were all in a movie, when you could pick a profession, can't do what you're doing now, I can't do what I'm doing now, but we're all going to have the same profession. It's a comedy about three friends out there in the world. What occupation do we have? And we got a wife and a girlfriend, but I'm single. So you get to give me a celebrity that I get to date in this movie. So who is my celebrity person that I get to date? What is our occupation, and what city are we in for this buddy comedy, essentially?
I might need some help with his woman.
What's our occupation, Coach?
All right, occupation, salesman.
Okay, we've done that.
All three of us?
Yeah,
3 salesmen. What are we selling?
furniture.
We're gonna sell furniture.
Oh no! I used to work at Raymond Flanders.
Oh my Lord. We're gonna be selling. You know
All right,
what?
so does that not count?
I can honestly tell you, I think I can. I like the challenge of selling anything. So as long as it's got morals and values, so I can sell
Yes.
furniture. Let's do it. All right.
What was the other thing besides your
My
celebrity?
celebrity that I'm dating, and what city we're in.
What city?
No.
No, just for random. Maybe this is a good omen for you. Minneapolis just came to mind.
Oh,
Okay.
Minneapolis. It's cold.
So we're gonna be in Minneapolis.
In Minneapolis,
We're gonna be
selling
around the
furniture.
birthplace of Prince.
I was gonna
like
say
it.
one of Prince's
Yes.
old girlfriends.
Yeah.
Apollonia.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that a?
No.
The love interest.
I was thinking Selma Hayek just because I like to see her.
I don't know who that is, but
Salma
Salma Hayek.
All right, I will take it. Coach that was a great answer, Coach. I will take Salma Hayek.
Thanks for having my back.
So, with that being said, the coaches are off the hot seat, and of course, we thank you for being here tonight. We got to celebrate Liverpool track and field. Speaking about the wonderful world of indoor track and all the different pieces of it, we spoke with the student athletes, and of course, Andy Lewis and Nate Howard, our coaches. We thank them for being here. We thank you for supporting Liverpool athletics. We thank you for supporting the community, and we thank you, of course, for coming down the road from the high school to Avicolli's all throughout the week, Monday through Sunday, as they're now open 7 days a week. So we look forward to seeing you soon here at Avicolli's and at the next track meet, and of course, always supporting Liverpool. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.